When I was a kid, every Saturday morning started the same way. A bedhead, a blanket, and hours of cartoons. But one morning, the usual lineup started to feel a little stale. So I started flipping through channels, searching for something new, and that's when I found it. Toonami, Naruto. Here was this kid, outcast by his village, carrying a weight that he never asked for, but still choosing to move forward. I didn't have the words for it back then, but I felt something. It wasn't just a show, they weren't just cartoons, they were anime, and they all came from one place, Japan. And somewhere in that moment, the seed was planted. I couldn't explain why, but Japanese stories just hit different. They carried this quiet sincerity, a kind of emotional honesty that I didn't find anywhere else. Over the years, that fascination grew from anime to J-pop to Japanese films to late night Wikipedia searching for cities that I couldn't even pronounce. So when my high school offered Japanese language courses, it wasn't even a question. Of course I signed up. Japanese became the one subject that never felt like work for me. After graduation, life moved on. I went to college, I got a job, other things took priority. And like so many dreams from childhood, that one slowly drifted into the background.
So if you're serious about going, dude, I'm like kind of half serious because my ultimate goal would be like go there, take Japanese for a semester, be comfortable, just be confident, and then just bounce back.
Years later, after a series of life changes, one of which left me questioning where I was headed, I felt lost. So I found myself revisiting that old dream again. This time, it wasn't about watching anime without subtitles. It was about rediscovering a part of myself that I'd left behind. So I decided, I'm moving to Japan. I started studying again, dusted off my old textbooks, and registered for the Japanese language proficiency test. So it's 10:57 a.m. right now. The JLPT N5 test is about to open. I'm going to try to nab a spot. Okay, I just registered for the JLPT. It is probably scheduled for December 3rd. Studying begins now. So now that we've signed up for the JLPT, I need to figure out a way to study. Can you help me come up with a study plan? Okay, I think I know what I need to do. Let's see how it goes. I didn't study nearly as much as I should have. Okay, so I'm on my way to my exam right now. I've done literally just one day of studying, so I feel like I'm pretty pumped. There's like a 50% passing rate. Let's see how it goes. 2 days of cramming, a stomach full of caffeine, and a test that felt like it was written in ancient ruins.
Along with the test score report in March 2024.
Okay, I got something in the mail today, but somehow I passed. Barely. Look at that. I'm so excited. And with that small victory in hand, I felt maybe, just maybe, I was one step closer. Next came the practical side, finding a way to actually get there. I researched everything. Language schools, universities, programs, visas,
studying in Japan.
All of it. Eventually, I found a program at Sofia University. This was one of Japan's top universities in the entire country. The bar was high, it wasn't perfect, but it was exactly the doorway that I had been looking for. What time is it in Japan right now?
It's 2:16 p.m. in Tokyo, Japan.
Applications for Sofia University has officially opened, and I'm gonna go ahead and do my application online now. That's that. I'm gonna print these out and send these in tomorrow. So hopefully that will be that.
Hi, how are you? Hi.
I mailed my application in. I paid the express fee. Okay, so I just sent off my application and waited weeks. And then the letter came back. Right now it's a little bit past 10 o'clock a.m. in Japan, November 20th. Today's the day that I find out whether or not I'm going to be going to Japan. Let's see if I got in. I'm going to go ahead and open. Okay. Denied. That moment hit a lot harder than I expected. Not because of the rejection itself, but what it represented. Years of planning, dreaming, trying to do things the right way, only to have the door closed on me anyway. For a while, I wondered if Japan just wasn't meant to happen for me. Maybe I finally needed to grow up. Well, that's that, I guess. Months passed and life went on, as it always does. Even after the rejection, I still found myself daydreaming about Japan. A few of my friends and I had even talked about going together one day, but timing just never seemed to work out. Someone always had work or school or something else just getting in the way. Then one night while we were catching up, another friend asked, "We're getting married in Kyoto next year. Do you want to come?" And suddenly, everything clicked. After years of waiting, planning, and missing chances, we now finally had one reason that brought 7 of us together. It was the perfect excuse that we'd been waiting for. For all of us, kids who grew up on Japanese culture and anime, this trip wasn't just travel, it was a pilgrimage. And suddenly, everything that once felt like a detour began to make sense. No visa paperwork, no acceptance letter, just an open door. And that's how I found myself on this flight to Haneda. Not on the terms I had once imagined, but maybe exactly the way it was supposed to happen. And honestly, going with a group of my closest friends made it even better than going alone could have ever been. Here I was, standing on the soil of the place that shaped so much of who I am without ever having been here. I remember feeling this strange stillness, like time had just kind of slowed down for a second. From the neon chaos of Shinjuku to the quiet temples of Kyoto, everything felt familiar and foreign at once. Every sign I could read, every phrase I could half translate, every melody from a store speaker. It all felt like confirmation that none of this was for nothing. All the years of curiosity, the classes, the setbacks, the anime marathons, they weren't just separate threads. They were footnotes. And this trip was the chapter that finally brought them all together. So, now that I've been to Japan, I realized that this wasn't going to be the end of the story. If anything, it's just the beginning. I used to think of Japan as the finish line, the place that I would arrive at once everything fell into place. But now I see it differently. Japan wasn't the destination, it was a mirror. It showed me what years of quiet curiosity, small habits, and persistence could lead up to. It reminded me that even if the road looked nothing like you pictured, it still leads somewhere beautiful. And now that I've seen what's on the surface, I can't wait to go deeper. Maybe that's what growing up really is. turning your childhood obsessions into chapters of your own story, and realizing that the journey that you thought would complete you was really just the beginning. Thanks for watching.